Here. Basically, I manage operation sides for the services team. Okay. Recently, we shifted remotely, and we are a complete remote company now. Okay. Uh, when I started initially working remotely, I had this type of feeling. It's like I'm not able to work. I'm working at a stretch, and not taking a much break. It is like not taking proper enthusiasm and not taking advantage of remote working. Okay. So together we discovered few pointers. I discussed these points with my colleagues, and they were also facing similar problems. So together we discussed few points, and I termed it as techniques. Okay. So it is basically techniques to manage time, communication, task list, and health. Okay, so these are my learnings, and I'm here to share these learnings with you. This definitely worked out for me. I hope that will also work out for you. Okay, so before we actually deep dive into the techniques part, how many of you are currently working remotely? Can you please raise your hand? Okay, and how many of you are managers? Okay, very few. No worries. Let's start with the techniques part. First one is a Pomodoro technique. Okay, this is a screenshot of pomofocus.io. It has their own website. It has their own app as well. Okay, basically it tells you that you work for 25 minutes, you take 5 minutes of break. You again work for 25 minutes and again take 5 minutes of break. And after 4 such sessions, you take 15 minutes of break. Okay. See, you may find it contradictory that, okay, should, you might have listened that one should do a deep work, more focused work, okay? And you may think that taking a short breaks will spoil it, but it is not the case. Taking a short breaks will actually help you to be more productive. So while taking a break, you may just get up on a chair, take a sip of water, just do stretching exercises, anything that will actually refresh you from whatever you're doing. Okay, so it is basically taking a regain your focus back, and this app as well allows you to change the focus time as well as the break time. So you can change the from 5 minutes to 3 minutes, and focus time from 30 minutes to 60 minutes as per your requirement. Okay. Next one is a focus time. Okay. So my focus time will be different. Everyone's focus time and everyone's situation is different. Okay. So let's say I have less distractions during my morning time, and less pings from my colleagues, less meetings, quite non-noisy timing in the morning time. Okay. For someone else, it could be in the afternoon. It could be in the evening. Okay. So try to find out the best focus time that will help you, and that will help you to work in a consecutive manner. In the more complicated tasks, you can schedule in that particular focus time. Okay. Uh, hmm. So, do you know, any of you know your focus time, which is could be a less distracting time for you, uh, where there are less pings? Any of you know? Super. Okay, so try to find out your focus time. See, it could be in the remote working, or it could be if you are working from office also. Okay, there will be certain time that will help you to that there will be less meetings, less distractions. So try to find out that focus time and make best utilization of it. Okay. Next point is set social media time and social time. Okay. So we talked about working remotely. We talked about working in a focused manner, taking a short breaks. But it is also important that we have some social time aside. Okay. See, social time could be your family, friends, colleagues, or just attending the WordCamps or WordPress meetups. In a way that will help you to gain some knowledge from somebody, and to share your knowledge. Okay, it is also important that we have some social media time aside. Okay, so some people, or including me, I mean, we try to look at the phone, and even if the phone is not buzzing, we look at the phone and see if there are any notification, or we scroll down to the news, social media's website, and we lose a track of time. Okay, if you are also facing similar kind of problem, you can use tools like Freedom, Momentum. Okay, that will help you to remain focused. Okay. You can install these tools on your phone or on your laptop, okay, on your desktop basically. That will help you to keep in a focused manner, and it will basically show you some notification that okay, yeah, it's time to focus back. Okay. Suppose you schedule the social media time. See, scheduling the social media time could be a different concept, okay? But try to give it a shot, okay? Let's say you schedule the social media time after your lunch break, okay? Similar kind of problem you might face at the same time, right? The hack is you schedule some meeting after that. Okay, so ultimately you need to go to meeting just to prepare the meeting or just to attend the meeting. So you will stop the social media and you will attend the meeting. Okay, so this covers the time part. Now we'll move on to the communication part. Okay, in remote working, it is important that we have clear and concise communication. See, many job position, if you see, you will see an option that one should have a proactive communication. Okay. Um, on top of it, I will say you over communicate in the remote working. Let's say if I given her some task to my colleague, okay, if I shared some information, and I assume that my colleague will take that task ahead, okay. Instead of this assumption, if I say it to my colleague that, okay, I have given you all the information, you take this task ahead. In case you face any difficulty, you let me know. Okay, that way you are making it very clear to your colleague, as well as it is making you clear that okay, the person will take this task ahead. Okay. In the remote working, it is also important that we keep some we choose the right medium of communication. Okay. Suppose you want to give some critical feedback to someone else, or you may want to receive the feedback at then and there. Let's say you want to give the demo and take the initial feedback so that you can work progressively. Okay. In this case, tools like a video conferencing tool, like a call over Zoom, Google Meet, or Skype, whichever communication you are using, that will be helpful. In case you want a response in an hour or two, then you choose the Slack or the Google Chat, basically the messaging communication tool. Okay. In case the task is where the person can take his or her time and respond you back, okay, then the project management tool or the email communication will be more beneficial. Okay. Uh, as you set the context also, like you are expecting a response by tomorrow or so and so date. Okay, that way you are making it very clear for the other person. You are not disturbing the person as well, and you're giving the person time that okay, the person can take a time and respond you back. Think on the topic and respond you back. Okay. Now there are some tools. So this is a screenshot of Grammarly. Okay. It will help you to understand if your message is clear enough. Okay. So as you type some message, okay, you decide. You can set what is the intended audience of the message, what is the intention of the message. If you are trying to convince something, or if you are trying to just provide information for purpose. Okay. As you type the message, you will see some score is getting calculated on the right hand side corner, and you will see there are some parameters that also gets calculated. So this will help you to understand if the message is clear enough, if the message is intended enough, if the delivery is proper, or it is slightly off, or do you need to make any changes to it. Okay. Now, there are some AI tools like a ChatGPT and other which will help you to create your message, or which will help you to take minutes of the meeting. Okay. So, the intent of the message that you want to convey and the message that gets auto-generated, you try to understand whether they are aligned, and before you actually send it to someone. Okay, just make sure that both the messages are aligned with each other, and then you can send it. Okay. Next one is a clockwise tool. Okay, so in the remote working, you may find a problem that okay, you have 4 meetings, let's say, in the day, and you may think that okay, I have done attended so many meetings, but I have actually not done any of my task list. Okay, I have not covered my any of the task list. Okay, so to avoid such kind of situation, clockwise tool will help you into a picture. Okay, what you need to do is you and your colleagues need to enable the clockwise tool. Okay, that will tell you the alternative time slot of the meeting if and only if any of the attendees in the meeting will have more focus time. Okay, so this is one of the tools that you can use to gain more focus time and basically try to arrange the meetings in the consecutive manner. See, it is not always in our hand, but try to arrange it in a consecutive manner and have a 5 to 10 minute short breaks in between. Okay. So this covers the communication part. Now we'll move on to the most important, the task management part. Okay, so one should have a task list and you should prioritize your task list. Okay, so the Eisenhower matrix will come into the picture and will help you to prioritize your task list. Okay, so if the task is urgent and important, we tend to do it immediately. Okay, but if the task is not urgent to be done immediately, and if the task is important, you try to schedule it. Okay. Now the problem I was facing is if the task is boring, let's say I want to create some reports. Okay, I will schedule it for tomorrow. Tomorrow, some more tasks will come in, and ultimately I will delay the task because it is ultimately boring task. Okay. So now what I'm trying is, I'm trying to complete the task first thing in the morning. So that will help you, it's like eating the frog. The major boring chunk of the task is finished and now I'm left with other tasks which is manageable for me. Okay. Similarly, if the task will take just 2 minutes, you try to do it immediately instead of delaying the task further. Okay, this will ultimately delay the task, ultimately increase your task list. It is not a win-win situation. 2 minutes task could be you're just providing some information to someone else or a very small feedback form you want to fill in. Okay, let's say the task is not urgent, not important. Please delete that task. Okay, do not even maintain your to-do list. Okay, if you maintain in your to-do list, then your to-do list will become overwhelming and you may think that, see, I don't want to work on anything. Okay, to avoid this kind of situation, please delete the task. Do not even maintain in your to-do list. Okay, now if the task is urgent but not important in the sense it is not important that only you need to do it. Okay, let's say if as a task is urgent, if you keep it with yourself, there is a high chance that the task will get delayed. Okay, and it will have unnecessary penalty. So to avoid this kind of situation, or let's say you want to empower your colleagues so that they will also learn and they should be able to handle this kind of task, then you delegate the task. Okay. Now, see, sometimes if you delegate the task, that you pass on the responsibility to somebody else, but the accountability still lies with you. Okay. In this kind of situation, our next text will come into the picture. This is called as a Gmail multiple inboxes technique. Okay. So this technique was introduced to us by our CTO, Mr. Arunesh Para. So basically in our organization, we have an advantage that whatever tool we are using, we get the notification over as Gmail. Okay. In case this is not the case with you, okay, you try to understand the concept behind it and try to apply it in your organization in whichever tools you are using. Okay. Coming back to the techniques, in the Gmail settings, you basically go to an inbox and enable the multiple inbox. Okay, and you can set some labels. Labels are basically filters. For filtering, you can use it. Okay, I have set 3 labels. 3 are enough for me. Max to max, you can set 5 labels. Okay, I have set needs a reply, awaiting reply, and ops reply. Okay, so when you enable this setting, your inbox will look like this. Okay. Now, let's say you are using some inbox which, let's say you are in Gmail inbox currently look like a few tabs in it, like a primary, forum, social, and you enable this kind of setting, you will feel disaster. Okay, but take a deep breath and you need to do it. Because this is a one-time action that you need to complete it so that your further part will be easy. Okay. Let's say you are doing some focus work and some notification pops in. Okay. And you understand that you need to take some action on it. Okay. You mark it as a needs a reply. Okay. And let's say you understand that you can delegate the task to someone else. Okay. You mark it as ops reply. Okay. Let's say if you mark that task as needs a reply, that means the task is not very urgent. Okay, so you don't need to interrupt in between in the current task and you can continue with the current task. So once the current task is finished, okay, or after the end of the day, you come back to your inbox, see if there are any items in the needs to reply section. Okay, if you take the intended action, let's say you send some notification to some clients or to the recipient, anybody, and you are expecting certain response from them. Okay, in that case, you add a label as awaiting reply. Okay, on the next day when you log in, if there are any items in the awaiting reply section, and if the intended response has not been come yet, okay, you may decide to follow with them, or you may decide to wait. Okay. Similarly, if there are items in the ops reply section and the intended action has not been taken place, you can decide to follow up with your colleagues or the third party services whom you are delegated the work. Okay. So this is not an alternative for task prioritization or task management. It will just help you to keep the track of the thing to make your life easier. Okay. So this covers the task management part. Now we'll move on to the last section. It is called as a health. Okay. Set some office space. Okay. So this may sound like this is like what, but this will help you to see. This will help for people around you to understand. Okay. Now the person is working. I may not distract him or her more. Okay, and see, working remotely, public work in a what you can say in the don't take any more breaks. They don't take short breaks. Okay, and end up having a neck problem or muscle stiffness problem or such kind of problem. Therefore, it is important you keep office space and you keep the chair and the desk position in an appropriate manner so that your posture is correct. Okay. Work from home gives you the flexibility to work in pajamas also. Okay, uh, but you work, I mean, dress appropriately so that you will feel enthusiastic to work. Okay. Uh, Next one is keep some small habit. Okay. Uh, so if you take care of your physical health, if you take care of your body, you will be more focused. And if you take care of your mind, you will be less anxious and more focused. Okay. So you at least have one small habit that will support your physical health or the mental health and the mental health for the matter. So it could be walking, it could be running, meditation, or swimming, singing, anything that will help you to maintain your physical health as well as the mental health. Okay. So how many of you have one small habit in your daily routine or in your weekly routine that will support your physical health or the mental health? Anybody has? Super. Very few people. Okay. So, see, the general excuse we get is we are very short of time. Okay. Therefore, we are not able to focus on our health. But as we all know and we all agree to it, that health is very important. That will take, if you take care of health, ultimately it will take care of everything else. Okay. So do take a time out. At least you start with the 10 minutes, if not longer duration. But in a 24 hours, take 10 minutes for you and have some small habit at least. Okay. Now the last point is the 2-day rule. Okay. Let's say from tomorrow you decide you will go on a walk for 30 minutes. Okay. You go on a walk for a few days, yeah, and one fine day you think that I want to skip the walk. Okay, you skip that. That is fine. On the next day also, you have a similar kind of feel. Okay, I will request you on the next day you don't skip the walk. Not for 30 minutes, at least go on 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Okay. See, whenever you are trying to build a new activity in your daily schedule, to keep the momentum going on, follow the 2-day rule. One day you skip, it is okay. One consecutive day, you do not skip. Okay. So that is called as a 2-day rule. Okay. So just to summarize, we discuss Pomodoro technique. Okay, you take a short breaks in between. Have a focus time. Find out your focus time. Yes, have some social breaks. Okay, over communicate in the remote working. Prioritize your to-do list. Maintain your to-do list basically. You can use a multiple Gmail inboxes technique, or any or the similar kind of thing that will help you to track the things that you are delegated to someone, or that you want to follow with the someone. Okay, set some of office fees. Keep at least one small habit that will help you in your physical health and in the mental health, and follow the 2-day rule. Okay, just to keep the momentum going on. I hope you have some takeaways. At least you find out your focus time. Okay, build some small habit and follow the 2-day rule so that you will keep the momentum going on. Okay, I will be happy to listen to your stories after few weeks, after few months, whenever possible. Okay, so sorry, do you want to take? So thank you, WordCamp Kathmandu, for giving me this opportunity, and thank you all for listening to me.